It's that time again. Time for some real talk about real issues to enhance your real life. Whatever you think, whatever you know, whatever you feel, Tanya doesn't mind talking about it. Get ready for some real talk that is always rated R, because Talk with Tanya has got to be relevant. Talk with Tanya has got to be refreshing. But most importantly, Talk with Tanya has got to be real. Tune in right now for Real Talk with Tanya White.
Welcome once again to the Real Talk with Tanya White show. And I am so excited to have you. It is May. When you're hearing this, it's going to be the second week of May, getting prepared for Mother's Day. And those of you all who have your mothers here on this side of the earth, bless them, love them, throw your arms around them. And those who don't, like myself, we're going to cherish the memories. We want to give a shout out to one of our May sponsors, Rashayla Burns of R&B Mobile Bartending, for all your adult parties that have adult beverages. Rashayla is your girl. She creates innovative drinks to go with your theme, and she knows exactly what she's doing. So thank you, Rashayla Burns, and she is my fam. So I can vouch for her creations. All right, so get with Rashayla Burns, R&B Mobile Bartending. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other? Facebook is X. Thank you, X. Well, we have a great guest today, author Harold Phifer. He's going to tell us where he's calling from. He's calling from the other side of the world, and maybe we'll get him to tell us what time it is over there. Hi, welcome to the show, Harold Phifer. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right.
Happy to be here. I'm calling from Al-Assad, Iraq. I guess you want to find it. A place called Baghdadi.
Okay.
Right.
And what brings you over there, that part of the world?
Still contracting, still need to make money. So I'm an air traffic controller.
Okay.
And I left the U.S. Around about 2010. And start doing it internationally. So been doing this pretty much 15 years. And that's what I do here in Al-Assad, Iraq.
Okay. So you consult, you have a book. Tell us, you served our country in a military branch?
No, I just work with them. I went straight out of college to work for the FAA in Memphis.
Okay.
The people you've been watching or hearing about having all the accident, I worked with them for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
And these things happen in spells. It's very safe. No need to worry about it. Just run of bad luck. I hate to say. Nobody want to be part of that bad luck, I know.
Yeah.
But the guys are good, and the women, they're good. So rest assured you'll be okay.
Rest assured. So you are a consultant, work for FAA, right?
Right.
Now you are author.
Right.
Tell us the story of how you said it's time for me to become author Harold Phifer.
Ooh, that's a deep dark one, man. But
I know it.
it.
Because I'm a writer myself, and I know my pathway to becoming a writer. So tell us, Harold.
I always felt I had the juice, but never acted on it. Never had the courage, or just didn't have that little extra to go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working contract in Kabul, Afghanistan, and came home from going to dinner and walked into our cafeteria, and the place blew up.
Mm.
And that Taliban used to love to do that. I mean, that was their MO. They'll blow a place up, and whoever was left standing, they'll walk in and try to shoot and kill everybody until they got killed.
Wow.
So I walk into the cafeteria, the place blows up, threw me probably about 8 feet across the room.
Mm.
So it took a second to account for all your parts.
Yeah.
Still got two eyes, still got my nose. I can count 10 digits. So okay, but then I'm thinking that second onslaught, the Taliban come in and shoot us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking cover and trying to make it to what we call a safe room, which is pretty well protected.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process, my life started to flash before my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And they said this happened. Well, it did happen to me.
Mm.
I it was the end of my world, end of my life, and life started to flash before my eyes. And in the process, it hit me. I never wrote the book I've been talking about writing or telling myself all those years.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, I'm desperate. I pray to God, if you let me out of here, I'll write that book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
luckily, obviously, I made it out. And the first book I wrote was called Surviving Chaos. And I talked about
Mm-hmm.
the incident in that book, in that story.
Wow.
Wow.
So every author knows there is when they say your art imitates your life, it is true.
Mhm.
And sometimes in order to get that art out, we have to go through something that, like you said, your life flashed before your eyes.
Right.
Uh, and and you woke up and said, I never did write that book. So
Right.
listen, if you have a book in your heart, your mind,
Yeah.
your spirit, write it. Don't procrastinate. For me, it was the death of my mom that said, okay,
Yes.
it's time for me to write, because life, you never know when it's going to end. I've always loved to write. So I was that girl reading, and I was in the corner reading a book and writing
Mhm.
something. And so for you to say, yeah, this was what said, hey, I never did write that book. Now, after that incident, where did you find like how did you balance your time? How did you get into that writing mode? Because you have to be as dedicated to that craft as you're in as anything else. How did you set your mind to this is what I am going to do?
It kind of took over. you
Mm-hmm.
know, you start writing little by little, and all of a sudden, you get into it. You start to feel it, and
Mm-hmm.
you kind of can't wait to do it. I can't wait to get home, or I can't wait to get a break to jot something down. An
Mm-hmm.
idea or whatever. It kind of just took over.
Mm-hmm. And that's how you know that you are supposed to write that book at that
Right.
time. I love what
Right.
you said. It kind of took over. It is in your mind, your spirit. It's just like anything else that you're passionate about. That passion, not only that you seek, but it seeks you and say, hey. And I've heard a lot of fiction writers say when they know when they're supposed to write their fiction book because the characters talk to them. And so
Right.
if you're a nonfiction writer, it's just that pressing and the excitement. I got to write. I got to jot this down. I got to write this down. And so you said your first book was Surviving Chaos. What year was that you released that?
2018 actually.
2018.
Mhm.
In the book, tell us, I know you told us about is that it was about that incident, but what are 2 to 3 takeaways that you, as you was writing that you wanted people to embody and implement in their life about surviving chaos?
More of it's never too late
Mm-hmm.
um, for success, or anything you believe in. Um, believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because in that book, I talked about coming from poverty, but the book is not all of woe is me. And I didn't want it to be that way.
Right.
It's more of a weird things that happen, and I wanted to bring people along. Because
Mm-hmm.
even though it's a nonfiction, and it's I guess you could say almost biography.
Yeah.
It's very funny because I got out, I put all the funny things I could put because I want it to be different, and it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it that way. Yeah, I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't want the sympathy or nothing like
Mm-hmm.
that. I want you to see this weirdness and either laugh or go, that is strange.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share all those things.
Share and be inspired, but also I hear you said, hey, it's never too late for
Right.
whatever, even after something unexpected where your life flashed before your eyes. It's still
Right.
never too late, and never give up. Can we find that book on Amazon? Where can readers and listeners get that?
Definitely, definitely. Amazon.com. All the book houses you'll find Surviving Chaos.
Okay.
Uh, my new one, which is a spinoff of Surviving Chaos, is My Bully, My Aunt, and Her Final Gift.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of spinoff Surviving Chaos and what happened. people kept asking me about one of the characters in the Surviving Chaos book.
Mm-hmm.
It's my aunt Kathy, and they were like, "Was she really that mean?" Or, you know, how did you deal with her? I kept getting those questions, and then it hit me like, she deserves a book. So,
Mm.
yeah, so I turned around and I pinned that one up actually about 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and just released it this year, January. But and it's doing extremely well. My bully, my aunt, and her final gift by me, Harold Phifer.
My
Um,
bully, my aunt, and her final gift. Also on
right.
Amazon, you guys. What is it in that book that you like? Everybody has an aunt curling, right?
Yes. She was just weird. I mean, not only was she within the colorism, not only did she keep her foot on me,
Mm-hmm.
it was just extremely weird the way she went about life.
Mm.
It's like she loved my brother. My brother, was uh, high complected, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
the out dark kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could never, no way, be smarter than him. I could never outdo him. She made sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she would always do weird things that I don't know. It left me speechless, and
Mm.
like one of the things that, like I said, my brother could never do no wrong,
Yeah.
and one of the things she used to always try to tell me something to one up me. You know,
Mm.
even in my, well into my career, my brother he wasn't a bum. I can't say that. He did work
Mm-hmm.
and work hard,
Mm-hmm.
but I was, you know, really, excelling well. But she
Mm-hmm.
would always try and find ways to one up me. So she told me, taking it for my brother, she didn't love his kids either. She just loved him. That
Mm.
was that was actually, it was just weird. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so she blamed the kids that there's no food in the house.
Mm-hmm.
She she said, my brother Jerry. She said Jerry leave the house with a sandwich, and when he returned home, he can't find a sandwich.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, he's responsible for putting food in the house,
Yeah.
and those little kids, they're going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't say that to her. It just spinning through my
Yeah.
yeah.
So, of course, was it just you and your brother?
No, no, I had two other brothers,
Mm-hmm.
but one of my brother um, deceased back in like '97, so I didn't mention him in my bully, my aunt, and her final,
Mm-hmm.
and that was on purpose. It'd have been too much to bring him in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so you said, are you the oldest of the one that she always try
No,
to up one? Are you older than him or younger?
no, I'm the second oldest. Yeah,
Okay. Um, that's when you say weird, that's weird. Especially when you have when somebody favors somebody and they don't favor their offspring, that's kind of weird. How did you
right.
learn to get through that, and how did you learn to continue to heal through that? Um, knowing this is family. Did you ever say, "Hey, Aunt Curlin, what's your problem with me?"
No, I wasn't disrespectful, and I wasn't
Mhm.
stupid either.
Okay.
Um, she gave me enough beating, to not,
Well,
to not go there.
not to
Right.
even explore. Uh,
Yeah.
as you wrote that book, did you experience another level of healing just writing and getting that story out? Can
Oh
you
yeah, for
explain
sure.
that, especially for men who they don't have oftentimes a sounding board to get those feelings out, and that's why I encourage men to write, especially my students. So, describe how when you was writing that how you experienced the healing through sharing and writing your story in this book.
Right. And like I said, it was painful then, but it's funny now.
Mm-hmm.
But I give you one of the painful, and hopefully follow with some funny. Um, I stopped dealing with her when I was about 11.
Mm.
Uh, I finally got enough sense to try to distance myself from my brother because she wanted just one on one with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But we were kind of close up until about 6, 7,
Mm-hmm.
and she did all she can to sever that relationship. So, but like brother, we used to fight all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
he used to beat me up, and I would go to her, tell the stories. Hey, he beat me up. Oh, she would never say anything but send me back home.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was about 18, we got into it, and I got the better of him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's about 21 now. So
Mm-hmm.
so he goes and tell her, I don't know, I guess I'm out of hand or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
she shows up to see me, and she said, it's not gonna. Man, I am in college, so she catch me at the right time. I have to be in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up, said, I hear you, you showing your butt around here, blah blah blah, and I'm like, there's some truth to it,
Mm-hmm.
but I never was disrespectful to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I never rolled my eyes. I never looked down when she talked to me. I never talked under my breath. I never, didn't push back in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So she's telling me, in a kind of threatening way. Then she shows me what she'll be working with the next time,
Mm. Mm.
and it was a 38 special,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that broke me because I
Mm.
never ever been a problem, you know. And for her to show up on his behalf with a gun,
Yeah.
that broke me.
So where were your parents at this time?
My mom was schizophrenic
Okay.
and she was the youngest, so basically, my aunt had raised pretty much most of the siblings, so
Mm.
she was kind of like mom to my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and my
Mm.
mom didn't push against anything that my aunt wanted
Yeah.
to do or say.
Yeah. Wow. So we have that's a lot. That's a lot now hearing and that we don't know what depths of the relationship was going on between your mom and her and we talk about generational family things going on. Um but we know there was something. How did you feel? Did you have any resentment or sadness knowing that hey, um you're raising us. You're supposed to be raising us with love because my mom
Right,
is going through something, but you're not.
right.
Did you have any resentment towards that and why is this happening to me?
Oh yeah, plenty, plenty. But and I found ways to move on, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
and that saves a lot for me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of that in the book, My Bully, My Aunt, and Her Final Gift. I talked about one of the things. I was about 7,
Mm-hmm.
and I sneaked out of the house to go to the Christmas parade,
Oh wow.
and as punishment, she was going to take me as punishment,
Mm-hmm.
and Santa Claus needed to see me. I've been writing them letters, so I'll
Yeah.
be letting him down for him to come all the way to Columbus, Mississippi, and me not be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part, I had never gotten any Christmas gift from on Christmas.
Mm.
So I'd be crazy not to be there in person and keep this bond going
Right.
between he and I. So I sneaked away,
Mm-hmm.
and, to the Christmas parade and saw Santa Claus and made it back home without getting caught.
Mm.
So it's a bunch of stories like that in the book, My Bully, My Aunt, and Her Final Gift. But her bullying me, um, it, we went to the county fair,
Mm-hmm.
and so once again, I got my brother to sneak off from my aunt. We wanted to get away so we can have some real fun rather than walk
Mm-hmm.
around with her. So we started. They had this little game that is you could pick where the hole the mouse went in on like this billiard table, you win money.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it and start playing and start winning.
Right.
So in the process of winning, if you won enough, you got enough points, you can win this bicycle. So I won the bicycle.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there, combing my hair, fixing my shirt, getting ready to take pictures and everything. She shows up, think I've done something wrong, which I did. I was gambling, but, but
That
you
was a
know,
fun sport. It's still a fun sport.
yeah, I'm 7 or 8 though, right? I did gambling, which is it was all illegal, but
Yeah.
nobody said anything.
Right.
So anyway, so being that Jerry didn't win a bike, she made me give it back.
Wow.
Yeah. And never had anything new in my life. Didn't have a bicycle at the time. Didn't get one for Christmas for doggone sure.
Right.
And like, and I'm thinking me and Jerry gonna share this thing. We're gonna have
Yeah.
some fun.
Yeah.
Nope. She made me give it back.
Just give me. But
Yeah.
that is weird and sad. So it takes a lot of strength and courage to talk about being bullied for anybody, but especially bullied by a family member. Right. Did you have the language to know that this was bullying and not just dysfunctional love?
No, at that time, bully only kind of referred to your peers.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it as I saw it as abuse, or I don't know, not living up to expectation or something, but
Yeah.
I didn't think of it as bully. But
Yeah.
that's just a phrase I use, for this book. But at the time, I didn't see it that way.
Yeah. You
But
didn't see
looking back, yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a big word. Now, and you say my bully, my aunt, and her final gift.
Mm-hmm.
What is the final gift, or do we have to read the book?
Yeah, you got to read the book on that.
Got to read the book to
Yeah.
get it at Amazon.com. Now, Arthur Hurl, we're almost at our stopping point, but back there I see riseandread.com as well. Can you tell us about that endeavor?
I write fiction books too.
Okay.
Yeah. Once the juice got flowing, I figured I'd try my hand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First fiction book I wrote is one called "Fool Me Thrice, Money Changes Everything."
Okay.
And it's under my pen name, which I hate to give, but since I'm not rich yet, I give it.
Dean Conan.
Dean Conan. Okay.
Okay, so tell us about the pen name, because I've always wanted to write a book under a pen name. How did you decide? Let me do this in a pen name, and then what was the process of coming with a pen name that fits you?
Well, riseandread.com I created Rise and Read, let's say my publishing company, which is just me and Dean Conan. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to kind of have a way to put them under one umbrella so I could kind of separate them. So that's how riseandread.com come about. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's my website. You see all my books there. Mm-hmm. But once I did Fool Me Thrice, Money Changes Everything, which is a sequel, but also it's under the Fool's Gold Chronicles, the book song. And
Fool's Gold Chronicles.
Yes. So my new book, the sequel,
A Fool Indeed.
A Fool Indeed by Dean Conan.
Okay. I like the red.
Thank you.
And it looks like cognac or some good old bourbon.
Both of those books, it's a 180 from the stuff my memoir. And they're very salacious. I wouldn't leave them around for kids.
Well, especially that second one I saw, red students. What is it? Bourbon, cognac? What is it? I'm a bourbon girl. It looked like bourbon.
It looks like bourbon.
Yeah. So you have how many books have you written and published under Harold Phifer and your pen name?
I've published 5. I've written like 7, but I published 5.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And they're all on Amazon, right?
Right. And I'm sorry, my bully, my aunt, and her final gift. It's hard for Amazon to keep it in stock, which is a good thing. But the bad thing, I mean, you can order it and you'll get it. It just maybe take about a week or 2.
Yeah.
But if you want to get it quicker, go to BookBaby Bookshop.
BookBaby Bookshop.
Yes,
My
and
bully, my
you
aunt,
get
and
it
final gift, and find out
right.
what their final gift. We want to find out what the final gift is. Do you
Yes.
see any of your books, whether the nonfiction or the fiction, being like a movie? Because there's been like Think Like a Man was a nonfiction book, and it's turned into a movie. Do you see, especially I love the title, My Bully, My Aunt, and Her Final Gift, because people want to know, okay, how's a bully give a final gift? Or, and why is he called his bully? Why is his aunt his bully? Do you ever
Right.
see any of that like as a movie?
I mean, I hope. You know, I'm biased, but I believe in what I do.
Mm-hmm.
My stories are so unique. I think it would intrigue people.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, my bully, my aunt. Like I said, another way she bullied me was she made me get out of the Boy Scouts.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, the leader of the Boy Scout, he took to me. I had no male influence, and this guy took to me. He saw I was smart, I was aggressive, and I was doing different. But because I was doing different than Jerry, she made
Mm-hmm.
me get out. But
Mm.
Jerry, he could care less. But I was the guy that wanted to be in all these organizations,
Mm-hmm.
and just for as they say, s and giggles, she made me
Mm-hmm.
get out,
Mm.
and I was bitter because I love what I was doing. The people loved me, and I was, it took me a minute to win them over, but I was winning them
Mm-hmm.
over, and about to get medals and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and for no reason she made me get out. So I
She
felt
made you.
bullied.
You feel,
Yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely. As you look back over your life, which is unique,
Mhm.
traumatic, what lessons have you learned that have shaped you into being the Herald that we hear today?
Um, I think this word came along like maybe what 2000, late 90s. Haters. It's always
Yeah.
gonna be haters.
Yeah.
And it took me too long to identify them even in your family.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, so don't let no one stop you. Believe in yourself. You'll be surprised you have haters even in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you're gonna have some bad moments. One of the things I learned as a kid, um, you need to cry, go ahead and cry,
Mm-hmm.
but get it over with and move on. And
Yeah.
I learned it as a kid.
Yeah.
Um, like everybody else, I have depression
Yeah.
or had depressions, and but you got to believe there's gonna be a better day, and you feed off little successes, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what I've always done.
Yeah.
Hey, I did this before, or if I did this, I should be able to do that. And once I
Yeah.
do that, I'm gonna try to do something else.
Yeah.
So just a little success is evident that you can get past these hard times.
You can get past the hard times. You can also decide to never give up and know that just what happened to you is not like what you deserve or a reflection of who you are. There's just haters and some people who don't know how to treat people right. Yes, even in your family, your bloodline. So
Right.
listen, Harold Phifer, you have been fantastic. Give us your contact information and how people can connect with you to hear more of your story, to book you for other podcasts. Because I know, especially Black men's wellness and hearing their stories is something that I promote to other people because I love authors. I love Black authors, but I love Black male authors because writing gives you a voice, and sometimes, many times, your voice is pushed to the back. So
Okay.
how can we connect with you?
Right. You can go to my website, riseandread.com, subscribe, or or you can go to Facebook or Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Harold Phifer 2024. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing, Instagram, Harold Phifer 2024. And drop me, message, DM, whatever, and I will respond.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this, and this can be weird, but powerful and unique.
Okay.
I'm from Columbus, Mississippi, small town. If I had gotten a job and I'm trying to diminish anybody, where they are, what they do, but because I would have done it. But if I had gotten a job at a factory or at McDonald's, I would probably be in Columbus.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And because I was too poor and nobody, they wouldn't hire me.
Mm.
And I had to keep going until, I found that niche, a place for me to fit in where I could get in it, as they say. But my point I'm trying to make, because I fail and fail and fail, it made me keep going and find better things.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say, sometimes failing is not bad.
It's not.
It just keeps you from something or a place you don't need to be.
Yeah. Or moves you forward. I hear sometimes people
Right.
you fail forward.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly,
you
exactly.
fell
And
forward because you didn't know. Sometimes you get we so bent on how things should be done. Sometimes
right,
it takes a failure to redirect us
right,
and open our
exactly,
eyes to something better and a new opportunity that we
right,
wouldn't be open to had we not failed. So
right.
listen, that's some great information, Harold.
Yes. And I'm not saying it felt good that I didn't get the
Yeah.
job. No, I'd be lying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But because I didn't, it made me keep pushing forward, forward, forward. And I hope if anybody young can pick that up. Like, just because you fail or you weren't good enough for this place, don't let that stop you. Mhm.
Keep moving and
Right,
keep knowing in your mind that you are good enough, that you're enough for anything. And just because you didn't get or just because you didn't fail doesn't diminish who you are or your ability. Harold,
exactly.
thank you so much. Listen, y'all go to Amazon.com, get the books by Harold. I had to bring you back to talk about the Dean
Sure.
Conan books.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Yes, and my bully, my aunt, and her final
I
gift
like
is
that.
on Amazon.
You're gonna
Go
laugh a while. You're gonna laugh a lot with this book. Okay.
gonna laugh a lot. Okay, yeah, that's look. She looks sassy too. She looks sassy.
She
Look
is. Good
very
Lord.
sassy. Very sassy. Connect with her on Facebook and Instagram. Re-listen to this. Share this. If you're a podcaster and you know some of the my fellow podcasters, when I recommend somebody, it's because they're great guests. Book Harold Phifer. Contact me and I'll give you all the information if you want to book him. But Harold,
Yes.
one last word of encouragement all the way. He's phoning virtually from Iraq, which is what is it like 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's right.
Bless your heart.
You
Bless
nailed
your heart, Harold. It's called Google or Harold. I googled it. So thank you
You
for
the
the
worst.
sacrifice. Look, you look very alert for 2
Yeah.
a.m. Talk to our men out there who may you wrote your story and it's like, man, Harold wrote my story, but they are not moving forward. One
Yeah.
thing you should share with them to uh to encourage and inspire them.
Like I say, believe in yourself. Keep moving forward. I'm gonna share this. I got this from when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I got this from the Gap Band. Anybody ever know of what's his name?
Charlie,
Wilson. Charlie Wilson
Uncle
and the
Charlie
Gap Band.
Wilson.
They had this song, and it still stays with me till this day. Nothing come to a sleeper but a dream.
Nothing come to a sleeper but a dream.
Don't be so. Don't spend your time sleeping. That's why I'm up now. Don't spend all your time sleeping.
Don't spend all
Okay,
your time sleeping.
right. Be out there trying to get it, studying, working hard, making contact, whatever. Don't spend all your good time sleeping.
Don't spend all your good time sleeping. Y'all, on that note, thank you for listening again. Shout out to our May sponsor, Rashayla Burns, R&B Mobile Bartending. Connect with her. Go connect with her on Facebook and Instagram. R&B Mobile Bartending and catering. She does catering now. Until then, listen to what I always say. Love your life, live your life, and laugh through your life. Until next time, you guys, I love you. Bye-bye.